Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate it. I was here earlier and had the opportunity to hear some of the testimony and some of the questions, and appreciate all of you being willing to step up and serve. Many of you have served before or in other capacities. My questions are to the Department of Energy, to our friends who are here interested in getting confirmed for important positions that are going to affect the livelihood of a lot of people in my state, including at the Piketon Nuclear Enrichment, Uranium Enrichment Plant in Pike County, Ohio. We've had a tough time there. As some of you know, this is the site where we uniquely enrich U.S. uranium. It's important for our nuclear arsenal. As Mr. Kotek said earlier, it's important for our nuclear energy industry. It's also critical because it provides tritium, which is required for the arsenal, and our nuclear navy, of course. So we have recently had 500 employees at the site receive warn notices. This is for the cleanup of the old technology. This is very frustrating for me because for years and years we've received commitments from the administration, this administration and others, to clean up the site, and frankly the commitment's not been honored. And so my questions are going to relate in part to that cleanup. And Ms. Wassemer, you're interested in being Undersecretary of Energy, so you're going to have a lot of responsibility for the cleanup side of things. President Obama said in 2008, the failure to clean up this site quickly will, one, delay future economic development opportunities. Very true. I was out there a few weeks ago, and again, they can't move forward with the economic development of that area, one of the poorest areas of Ohio, unless they get this cleanup done. Of course, they need to, remove the radioactive and other waste that's there. Second, quoting the president, will only add additional mortgage costs. Wow, with the commitments that haven't been made, the taxpayer gets stuck with the bill. About $4 billion more over time to the taxpayer already with the slowdown and the cleanup that we've seen in this administration. And third, he said, will pose undue environmental risks. Well, yeah, part of the reason you clean up these sites is to ensure that the communities are safer. And so we are really frustrated because, again and again, the administration's made commitments and not kept them. In 2009, DOE made a secretarial commitment to the community to accelerate the cleanup and complete the work by 2024. And if you're interested in that in writing, I'm happy to provide it to you because Secretary Moniz wondered about that. It's true, and we've talked about it many times. The press release at the time said accelerating the cleanup was an effort to jumpstart the local economy and create jobs. Now we're being told in that community that it's going to be 2044 at the earliest. And again, 500 people are having their jobs threatened. So I got a few questions for you, Ms. Wassemer, as you take on this job. Thanks to some language that my colleague Senator Alexander got into the appropriations bill and the House side did in the CR, we were able to keep employment levels at their current level. In other words, not have these warn notices be implemented. And again, Congress seems to have to step in every year and provide this last-minute help. That's not the way to run a railroad. It's certainly not the way to run people's lives. So very quickly, if you could just give me a yes or no on this. The Secretary committed to me a couple weeks ago that he would advocate for additional funding for the cleanup in the long-term spending package. Would you support the Secretary's efforts to secure this additional funding in the Piketon cleanup so that after December 11th, for the longer-term package, that the people at that plant know they're going to have a job? Yes or no?
Thank you, Senator, for your question. I do understand the importance of Portsmouth in relation to our national defense, and I do also understand during the CR period that the department has committed to ensure that there are no involuntary layoffs.
Limited times. I need a yes or a no on the long-term cleanup.
Sir, absolutely.
Look at the long-term CR. Yes or no?
I am committed to ensuring, if I am confirmed, that we would have long-term cleanup at the Portsmouth site. And
that for the long-term CR, in other words, after December 11th, that you would support the funding in there to keep these people from losing their jobs.
Sir,
this is what the Secretary told me that he was going to advocate for.
Sir, if the Secretary has shared that with you, if I am confirmed, I will support absolutely his direction and guidance.
Every year you guys put in your budget inadequate funding for the cleanup. You were $80 million short last time. My question for you is very simple. Are you going to advocate this year to be sure the cleanup levels in the FY17 budget request are adequate to keep the layoffs from happening and to keep the cleanup on pace at least to the level it's at now? Yes or no?
Sir, if I am confirmed, I'll be happy to work with you on this issue.
Okay. I would say to that question, you'd be happy to work with me. When I supported Secretary Moniz in his confirmation, he made that same commitment. When I supported the Deputy Secretary Sherwood Randall, I got that commitment. The Assistant Secretary Ragabudu, I got that commitment. The head of the Office of Environmental Management, all during their confirmation hearings, they made assurances they would work with me. They said those same words, and they haven't. So we need to see that follow through. And frankly, I'm not much in the mood to do other confirmations until I get real commitments on this. And Mr. Kotek, you and I have talked about some of these issues before, I'm sure, and I know you have a great background in the nuclear area, and I appreciate what you said about nuclear power and its importance, but I would just ask you one simple question about the new technology, which is ACP technology. We had 120 centrifuges are spinning out there. Suddenly, DOE surprises us all, as you know, a few weeks ago and says, we're going to pull the plug on this after many indications the opposite would be true, not providing us the report that was due to Congress in April. To defend that, we got that report the night before the hearing when Secretary Moniz was here. Do you believe that we do need to have a domestic source of enriched uranium?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. Of course, the availability of uranium to meet our nuclear energy needs in the U.S. is very important to my organization and the future of nuclear technology. The specifics of the ACP project and the uranium enrichment program in DOE actually falls into a different organization, so I'm not familiar with the specifics of the report you referred to or other things, but certainly would be pleased to work with you, if confirmed, to ensure that we've got uranium available to meet present and future needs here in the U.S.
Your predecessor was very involved in this, so I hope that you will be as well. And to the extent you believe in nuclear power, as you said earlier, I certainly hope you believe that we ought to have a domestic source of enriched uranium and not be dependent on the Russians and others for our enriched uranium. Can you make that commitment today?
Yes, sir. I thank you for the statement, and I agree that we need to ensure that we've got availability of domestic enriched uranium.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Going forward.